stealing, Spectre will shred you instantly. So that is one downside of the Lifestealer here. So they got to make things happen a bit in the early game. They do have the Lone Druid Lifestealer combination. They got a very tempo-based lineup here. I think they need to be in a spot this game where they keep getting gold, or they need to end the game.
A bit too far when to catch Squadix here and allowing VP to counter-initiate Dazzle. It's going to drop very low. Whitemon might just be the target of first blood, and FNG is going to get it. Notice will drop as well with that off-lane Wraith King, and FNG targeted by TSM to potentially give another kill for the North Americans. They are chasing him down as that orb dodge comes out. A couple extra right clicks enabled for Ahri to close that one out. And just to get back on the thought about this Earth Spirit combined with Spectre inside the same draft, they had that game, these two heroes, they had a really rough laning stage, and the Blade Mails were the ones that worked into their favor and kind of slowly turned it around into towards a victory. Spectre probably doesn't. Well, I mean, you can optimize the Blade Mail. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's the one you don't want to go for. It feels like it is more a meta. You just go straight up for it. But how does that impact your skill build? Max out Dispersion, we've seen that happen.
Going Blade Mail on Spectre?
Yeah. With the Max Dispersion skill build. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps you farm there. Ahri is going to go down.
Yeah. Probably expecting maybe they've already spread out into other directions, but
is he going down? I don't know. He's not going down actually.
On the edges of that Juju tower, and there we go.
All right, he sacrificed himself.
That's a lot of assists.
Sure is. Yeah, you definitely want to go Blade Mail on Spectre in most of the games, just in general, because it's a very powerful item and it works really well with Dispersion and can be used as a farming tool. Spectre doesn't have a lot of ways to farm quick, so you kind of rely on just Dispersion plus Blade Mail return damage to get you a lot of that CS in the early game. And he's even going for a smaller transition item too, and getting the urn into the Blade Mail.
Does work out. Was we have already 4 kills in this game too. Started off with a real blitz between the two teams. We've got the Earth Spirit versus the Bryle Puck in the mid lane. We've seen Earth Spirits have a great time in the laning stage, even despite whatever they're matched up against. And of course, Puck, you know, Phase Shift is a very powerful tool against dodging some of those abilities that he has. So it's more about just right-click trading, making sure they get as much farm as they can, doing the early rotations with another having the coil, the other just having a very powerful level 6, level 7 rotation. The side lanes, it just feels like this might be pretty much of a farm fest, at least in top, not bottom necessarily, as we saw FNG already drop low. Because, you know, it's Lifestealer versus Wraith King in the top lane. How often do you see a 3 Wraith King just battle it out with an ancient apparition against your opponents?
Yeah, this is usually a lane you see in the safe lane, right?
Yeah.
But it's making an appearance in the off lane here, and I'm very curious to see how, more than anything, just how this Wraith King does. If you look at last game, there's like no way in my eyes that you're winning this game if Noticed doesn't have the type of performance that he had on the Spearbreaker. Will he be able to replicate that on a hero like Wraith King? We all know Spearbreaker's meta and how powerful this hero is, but what we don't know as much of is Wraith King offlane very powerful? What is his job in this particular game?
Oh, like they like to say, 17% luck, 17% skill.
100% concentration of will, or
power of will. The Wraith King is just, you know, Q stun. Q stun. They're chasing sayuw down in the top lane for a potential kill for TSM. One more hit's gonna deal and seal the deal, let's put it that way, as sayuw will drop the Timado. They were also battling in the bot lane, dropping Kiritych low. With kasane with that bear and Ahri on the tusk. Definitely making a lot of heavy lifting here. Punish that Spectre as early as they can, but TSM finding a kill into their top safe lane with a slow and dazzle. Lifestealer also playing another slow with a Ghoul Frenzy, which is nice to have if you want to chase opponents.
Definitely is one of your farming tools as well, as it does give you quite a lot of bonus attack speed there.
That too.
On this lane, on bot lane, this isn't your strongest lane ever. So TSM, they're definitely in a spot drafting wise where they should be ahead from the laning stage. And they should translate that into getting a very big gold lead and probably having to close this game out before it gets into those ultra leaking situations. So everything's going pretty much as planned. But if you start to get more farm on the Spectre and this Wraith King, that's when things might get a bit more difficult.
Timado Yeah, just getting interested there with that Poison Nova already applied on Wraith King. Just wants to keep refreshing that tick. I'm not really going to be doing that much work here. The CS department, at least in the top lane, tied 17-16. Well, tied and tied. Very close to each other with a 1 CS difference. Squadix and Bryle also very even in mid, despite a lot of red colors in the top 10. TSM having the majority right now as Spectre CS. Not exactly the highest, but maybe even a potential kill. Kasane is down to 100 HP in the bottom lane. Spectre going all the way under, diving under the tower and getting a kill
That's
on
a
Kasane.
resummon kill too. That is massive.
That too.
Like, he has no bear for 40 seconds here. So for the next about minute here, your Spectre's just gonna free farm. And we talked about how this bot lane was hard. All that pressure has just been alleviated for the most part here. Is most likely the next couple waves for Kiritych are just gonna be completely free for him.
And I also think, if I saw that correct, Ahri probably killed Kasane by casting ice shards into the dispersion on Kiritych when Kasane was already in a safe distance but barely had any HP. So that could have happened. However, Whitemon's already dropped into top lane, so VP getting something for themselves as well. They're up to 4 kills now. Let's at least punish this Dazzle. Not a lot of max HP to work through.
This is a bit surprising too. I would assume this Dazzle, one of the strengths of this hero, hasn't changed that much. Is the poison touch is really strong against heroes that can't get away from it, and Wraith King isn't really a hero and AA that can get away from it. But still, I think they're overperforming here, VP in the laning stage, and who talk about this late game and how scary their heroes do look in it. That has to be a bit concerning here for TSM. A lot of game to be played still, but very impressed here how they have stabilized the lanes that they probably should be doing worse there for VP.
Definitely should. And Squadix is actually pretty high up here, tied up with Bryle in net worth. Also with that Lifestealer following right behind. It is VP's side lanes that are following up behind. And they're going to make an attempt onto Squadix with the coil. Ahri's right there helping out with Whitemon, but FNG and sayuw, they've got the power, and they will apply it onto TSM. Whitemon trying to make a run for it, but the Magnetize is going to be there. Bryle is also solo 1 HP. Can Squadix get another Remnant? Yes, he can, but he's still got sticks and fairy fires. Nevertheless, 1 kill, 2 kill, rune secured. Squadix happy.
You just saw the power of Phoenix against Tusk right there. This is why they picked the Phoenix into the Tusk. You run in there with the tag team, right? You want to get the damage done, but you pop the Fire Spirits on top of 2 heroes there, and all of a sudden you're not getting the right clicks. Therefore, you're not getting the damage done there, which makes it an easy turn there for Virtus.pro.
Talk about the power of the sun.
It is quite powerful.
It definitely is very powerful.
More powerful than ice shards, one would say.
Yeah, melting through the ice. Good old Virtus.pro. As already mentioned, you know, it's not the VP of the old days. The roster is very different to what it has been, but already giving us a show, at least in game number 1, and not afraid to also experiment with something different, because this Wraith King's yet to really be played in the offlane. So also some confidence coming out of their drafting. Wraith King has a full 8 picks so far with a 62% win rate. There has been
how many of those are in the offlane?
Those are actually, there is actually 4 offlane picks. So it is shared.
There is something happened bottom lane.
Oh, that is a Phoenix, and particularly the sun being targeted. It doesn't get popped by the coil. Kasane is the one to die first, and now Bryle just might be a secondary target. Let's get the coil out just in time, and there's the Magnetize with a powerful kick to the face. Squadix with a double, Squadix with a triple. Kiritych, I want a peace of mind of that as well. 3 kills with the sun surviving. FNG doesn't even get killed.
This is really concerning here. Like, FNG was 1 hit from dead. The bear was chasing him. The bear is about to get that last swipe to kill him, and then boom, out of nowhere, Squadix just smashes a rock on Kasane's real hero and ends up killing him.
Yes, I'm just gonna have to find some answers around this, because that was Puck basically dying on his first proper rotation. Trying to help out his buddies, but not really succeeding. And we know how games can go if this Puck ends up dying once, twice, 3 times and doesn't score any kills. TSM's going to be in a lot of trouble. How do you get back in with this lone druid? He needs time to farm. The Lifestealer needs time to farm. And you don't have a mid laner play around basically, because you're so far behind that the Virtus.pro is just going to walk away with it. But they're going to make something happen onto Kiritych here. Shadow step onto kasane. Drops down to half HP as well. He might die here. He's going to pop the true form. He does get a bit of healing out of that, and FNG will be punished. sayuw also on the runaway from Ahri. And Squadix, he's the hunter in the night. The invisible Earth Spirit shows up out of nowhere, magnetized onto Whitemon and the bear. Gonna get rooted up by the bear at the same time. Kasane gonna be walking back in. Uh-oh. Schooled by TSM by the looks of it. He thought he had the upper hand, but no.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe didn't realize there's a diffusal blade online as he walked in there, got swiped by the bear a few times and just had no mana. So he couldn't really escape from that situation there.
Tower is under attack.
Rooted up, slowed up, surrounded by enemies.
A rough life there. And I just want to make a little more notes on this AA and the impact it will have if it gets level 6. Only level 5 right now, but here's like Lone Druid, and I talked about Lifestealer hating to play versus AA, but Lone Druid does too. Because you Ice Blast the real hero, he all of a sudden can be focused down and will not be getting the heal from the Spirit Bear.
And she fighting it out with Whitemon here. I want to stay all the way to the end with that battle. sayuw and Squadix. Squadix, he's got his blade mail by the looks of it coming on the courier. He's got the recipe on the way. And a battle for the 10-minute route. Bryle will secure the DD. They spot the Earth Spirit, but Whitemon's going to be targeted by Kiritych. Forces out the early shallow grave. Well, not early. He's about to die, and he will. As Ahri and Bryle are going to have to retreat on their side of the map. VP get themselves a kill despite losing out on the action rune. But Bryle can't really use it right now. It's going to have to make a move happen with Ahri, and AA could be a good target to use it on. Coil is ready. Squadix is farming in the jungle right now while trying to get close. Ahri's still scouting out, but no, he's not going to dive.
I think you chill here. Maybe get a little bit of damage with DD onto the tower.
Radiant's middle
but
tower
other than that, that's just going to be your DD rune there, hoping to get a bit more. I'm sure they were, but that's all they're going to get for now. And notice in the meantime is also just pressuring top. That's some cheese rotation here, and little Skelly Bros are going to assist in this one.
Dire's structures are fortified.
kasane also applying pressure in the bot lane with that Lone Druid. It's only a 1v1, so he's got a happy lane for himself right now to try and get closer to the tier 1 tower. But VP's mid tower down to 800 HP. Very soft right now. TSM also smoking up towards top. FNG is still in the tree line. Going in some fire. Spotted. Does he get the channel? No, he won't. He won't make it out. Ahri and Whitemon are here. Going to try again.
The bottom lane here, you got Earth Spirit and AA going here. AA ult is online.
That rotation is coming in from TSM. He can't quite get the kasane though. They got an eye on him, but also same thing for Kiritych. Whitemon with a slow on the blood grenade. AA blast to connect onto kasane, and that is him gone. Ahri, Whitemon trying to make a run for it. sayuw and Kiritych on the chase. Snowball trying to get away from the rest of VP.
Radiant's top tower
with the slow. So Tusk is also going to drop, and VP successful with it, and that is a much-needed double for Kiritych. He's up 5-0-4 on this Spectre in the early game.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. His net worth wouldn't be what it is right now if he didn't get these kills. So, yeah, I think that's a little bit concerning if you're a TSM fan here. This Spectre hero, we've seen him time and time again in the late game. This hero is ridiculous. Now, what's his... Oh, they're going to kill Noticed once here, potentially.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Does have reincarnation.
Doesn't have skills yet.
Have a skill for it. He's up at the same time, sees the orb. Yeah, now you're going to get some backup because there's a lot of heroes here. FNG coming with the heal, but Brawl's going to go for the silence. Timado under the tower. You're going to help your life stealer out. He's going to move away with them. They pop the sun, and they're forcing them away. Infest inside that Tusk, but Tusk, there's going to be a bit of a surprise inside. Does TSM get to use that surprise, or are they just going to die one by one as they've lost Ahri, and Timado is dead as well. Bryle can't do much with that haste rune, and TSM losing a core and a support from their aggressive move. But kasane, he will be able to take down that Spectre on a mano-a-mano.
Yeah, Spectre had the blade mill coming out on the courier. Didn't quite reach him there, so kind of made him just easy pickings there. This is one of Lone Druid's scariest timings. Once he finishes up this diffusal blade, he becomes very, very powerful as he can just chase you down on the map. Even has the treads finished as well. So kasane still off to a great start here, but your only concern is still going to be that this is not going to be an immortal lifestealer as we just saw in that last fight there. That was without Ice Blast. Same thing with kasane bottom. If Ice Blast ever hits on either of these heroes, they become very burstable. So it's going to be a game about potentially sniping this AA before you can do anything, because I think this hero is going to be key for this game for Virtus.pro. If A gets Ice Blast off, then you're probably dying. If you can manage to avoid the Ice Blast by killing him first or hope he just misses them, then you have a real chance in the fights.
Last game we had a couple Midases coming in, and this time it looks like
again.
sayuw. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. As notice being dived under the tower. Bryle's also going to be here, but so is Spectre. Kiritych wants to get a bit of damage out. sayuw has the Ice Blast ready. Onto Timado, trying to get to the high ground, and he's going to be history. Whitemon's dead too. Ari might just be a third kill going for Virtus.pro. He's got nowhere to go, and that Wisdom Rune secured by VP. And with all these kills going the way of Virtus.pro, we have mentioned sayuw. She's the one lining up the Midas. So that's going to be one happy AA if he can get that one done.
I don't know if that's... All right, he commits for the Glove of Haste. That is a full committal. He wants the Midas, and I think we're seeing a clash of two different ideas of how to play the game. Right now, on the side of TSM, you look at kind of their heroes, their Lifestealer. He went for an Orb of Corrosion, early Armlet, as Dreams of like a Desolator. These are all early game type of items. Meanwhile, and you look at their draft too, right? They got a lot of heroes that apply a lot of early game pressure, and VP, they're like, nah, we're gonna chill. I'm gonna get Midas on every hero. We're gonna pick Phoenix and Spectre together. We're gonna have mediocre lanes. We'll just get to the late game and everything will be okay.
Yep, and every time you pop through form, delete it. Back to the graveyard, Kasane.
It's shaping out to be a very sad day for North America here, as we already lost the first series.
It's starting to look like that.
We've lost game number 1 here against Virtus.pro, and game number 2, it's looking hard. And it's not, sure, it's only a 1k gold lead, but from my perspective, just how the heroes match up into the scaling department, it looks very difficult for TSM. They're gonna have to find a way to bring back the morale, rally the troops here, and find the play on the map, honestly. And they're sticking around bottom lane. They want to go at kasane yet again. If he resummons his bear here and dies, it's gonna be rough. It's definitely gonna be real rough. But he's wise.
He's wise and playing it safe for the time being. Maybe they can get a bit of a wraparound.
I don't know, T-Panda. I think he might be dead.
Looks like it. Ice Blast is going to be there, and he is dead once again, and so is his bear by the time he respawns. Also, to kind of paint the picture a bit about Virtus.pro's road to the international, with this entire year. This is a team that was the regional qualifier winner from East Europe. This was the team that was always Tour 1 4th place, Tour 2 4th place, Tour 3 4th place, missed out on every single major. They've made their way here, and now they are actually looking at a shot, without playing a single major this year, of going potentially into the upper bracket of the main event. Then you have TSM, and if you're showing it, that have been to a major, haven't had too much success. sayuw is going to be hunted here at the same time. They're the second top team from North America. And this series just looks like Virtus.pro has been a tiny bit better, making a little bit less mistakes than what TSM has been making. So they know that, they understand that. But VP, if you look at it from their perspective, they probably came as underdogs to the series. But they're not looking like underdogs at all. Well,
they will get a much needed kill.
We'll get that, but how many are they going to lose with this trade? Ari is already being targeted on. Whitemon's about to drop the notice. Timado's trying to fight back, but this Lifestealer without a death cell, his damage is limited. Squadix will take down one, and there's a TP attempt from Timado, and he will be able to get out with the help of the Rage. So only 2 supports traded off for FNG's Phoenix.
And without a doubt, that TSM is the second best team in North America, right? Maybe potentially first. It's a hard debate. I'd say second. But if you look at the road that Virtus.pro has to go through to go to any of these majors, they have to get through teams like Team Spirits. They got to go through 9cans. They got to go through Bedboon team. Those 3 teams have been dominating the Eastern European scene. But they're showing us here that in Eastern Europe here that you have their potential 4th best team here is still damn good.
Yeah. What a show. And you got to give respect to that.
And to have 4 teams at this level from one region is really just something else, to be honest.
Talk about the West European story. It's always been like, yep, there's 4 teams, and they all seem to always be in the top 4 of a major event. potentially even, you know, remember last TI, for example, was a European final. So East Europe is following in the footsteps
Radiant
and really
are
making their own
scanning.
mark on the map as well. If they can get to the
Dire's
upper
middle
bracket,
tower
that
is
is a
under
story
attack.
for this VP roster. Because last year, they were all pretty much Division 2 players. They are so far away from what you look at Tier 1 teams. And now they've really built up a story that they can be one of
Radiant
those.
are
They could definitely be
scanning.
one of those at the road to the international.
It's definitely here. I'm gonna tune back into the game here. I'm just gonna do a little update on like some itemization here. FNG is going straight Hex Rush on his position 5 Phoenix, and he is not that far away from it. Just 1,000 gold here until he has that. We got the Midas stream coming out for sayuw. We're talking about greed here, right? Both games, they're playing for the late game. They're playing for moments like that. Even though they're winning the early game here, they're still playing in a fashion where they want to scale. Your Wraith King, he's got a Desolator on top of the armlet as well.
They're trying to find Kasane. They know that the bear's hitting, so Kasane is probably somewhere around the area to roll in, and they finally find him, but they also find Whitemon, and they've got
for
2
Ice
targets
Blast
to
coming.
take with the Shadow Step right on top of the Lone Dredge. He's trying to TP over the Ice Blast coming in, and it doesn't actually connect. He will be able to teleport home and stay alive, but the bear's not as lucky.
Yeah, he potentially could have died there if the Ice Blast hit, because he would not have healed from the fountain. He would have lost more HP because his bear would have died.
Radiant's top tower is
Very
under
fortunate
attack.
there.
Takes Fire Spirits, yeah, could have probably died.
Very, very fortunate, but still the name of the game for TSM right now, it's kind of just
Dire's bottom
run
tower
away.
is under
And
attack.
honestly, it's more like paranoia. I think Kasane, at all stages, is just a little bit paranoid that he's gonna die.
It's not shaped out to be a very fun game for him to play, so maybe TSM with the rest of their cores are able to step up. Ari is going to be able to pick up the shard from this Tormentor kill, while Roshan has also been taken by a Virtus.pro. Spectre almost ready with a Radiance, 500 gold short. So more trouble coming TSM's way.
Not what you want to see right now. I mean, then the scalability, if you just look at the Lifestealer, right? He is getting outscaled by the Wraith King. He's out farming him. They're building the same items, but you already have the Desolator online for the Wraith King, where Timado's still going for it. We talked about how he can't man fight. Like, I'm struggling to find good points for TSM right now.
Okay, a bit of an attempt on a bait. Notice was just hanging around there waiting for the Ice Blast to land on top, and maybe somebody jumps him, but they jump after. And Bryle's gonna get silenced right away. The puck's gone! Bryle doesn't get to do anything. He does not get to play Dota. And by the looks of it, neither does the rest of TSM. They're trying to go for the run. Whitemon, they're taking so much damage from this Magnetize. An ultra kill for Squadix. They got nothing done. They got nothing right on TSM. Oh my goodness, how much damage is being dealt. That's 4K and a Tormentor for VP.
Nice and easy for them. If you look at the AoE damage potential that you have, you got
Radiant's
Phoenix,
top
right? You got that
tower
Earth
is under
Spirit.
attack.
You've got the AA. There's a lot of AoE damage, right? And on the side of TSM, they go into
Dire's
this fight
bottom
like
tower
single
is under
target Tusk,
attack.
single target Dazzle, single
Radiant's
target
top
Lone Dredge,
tower
single
is under
target
attack.
Lifestealer. And
Look
they're
at
using
Bryle.
all this single target onto like this Wraith King. You'll see here, he's tanking all this damage. Like, I guess we'll do what we can here. And Bryle's trying to go in the backline, instantly gets silenced. So really well played by Squadix here on this Earth Spirit. He's been crushing it. But these team fights, with the way you draft on TSM, you had to have a good start. You needed to snowball the game. In a position like this, your comeback potentials, it's so difficult. I think you just have to split up and farm and just be greedy. Maybe this Lifestealer needs to turn this Mithril Hammer into a Maelstrom or something.
By the looks of it,
That's what's
he
happening.
still doesn't have a Desolator, and he
Dire's
still
top
won't be
tower
able to
is under
farm it as
attack.
he's hunted down in the mid lane. And we talked about how strong a mid Earth Spirit can be early on with a godlike spree. He is
Dire's
13, 1, and
top
10 on
tower has fallen.
Squadix at 22
Dire's
minutes
structures are
with that
fortified.
ultra kill that he scored from that last team fight. Almost a rampage, but not quite. Yep, Desolator, it's still in the works.
Still in the works. That's your boy Wraith King, who already has a Blink Dagger. Doesn't even have
Dire's
dreams of
middle
AC.
tower is
AC
under
coming
attack.
soon. Hex, yeah, that's completed on Phoenix. So, and of course, you do have your Midas on the Ancient Apparition now. This feels like it's like a taunting Midas.
You know, yeah, it
Dire's
does
middle
remind me of a lot
tower
of
has fallen.
pubs. Like My Pos 5 AA wants to build a Midas so he can just chill at the back of the fights and, you know, get a casual Midas pop every now and then. And maybe get an Aghanim's to amplify the old Ice Blast that used to be. Now you just get that lovely, lovely chilling touch. Kind of turned into a Dark Will of sorts. Is already going to get hunted down by VP. But at the same time, yeah, he's like, I'm just going to go for it. You know, that's the sayuw way of playing Dota.
Yeah, these are like the saddest games.
Oh, Timado. Not again.
Yeah, that's a Hex, by the way. Position 5 Phoenix has a Hex at 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, so these are the games I was going to say. Whitemon, he's probably going to go down here too, most likely, as he has no TP. He's just 1 second on up. Yep. And that's the thing too. Notice he also went for the 26 skeleton attack damage taunt instead of the extra stun duration. He just really is feeling like this is the greediest I've ever seen a team be, and they're getting away with it.
Radiant structures are
Literally getting away with murder here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they are already on the high ground, finishing off a potential first lane of racks.
Dire's
Yes, they have their heroes respawning shortly, but the entire VP roster, they are here. They're spread it out, making sure the waves are pushing. SquadX also clears out the bottom wave, which kasane, you know, he's just part of the jungle right now. He's not even pushing the lane, as they will take a mid lane of rack secure 24 minutes in. Does look like they're not done yet. They have a creep wave at the tier 2. Ice Blast bottom. They're actually targeting kasane.
We see him. There's a Hex.
His worries, his problems aren't over yet. Let's get the fear off in time. No Ice Blast to take, but still is dead. Death number 6 is a certainty for kasane. Kiritych is toying around with him a little bit there, but that's going to be kill number 9. And another dominating streak being built up on the Spectre.
Virtus.pro just playing with their food here, and TSM doing everything that they can do. It's just, unfortunately, in this moment, there's not a lot that can be done. I think they do just have to just sit in base, kind of split push what they can. Maybe the answer is going to be some infest spawn, but we just now finished our Desolator at 25 minutes into the game. Poor Timado here just doesn't have a game whatsoever. He's the lowest farmed core in the game. Phoenix is getting close to having the same net worth as him. So even if they do use an infest bomb, I'm not sure who they can kill, but I guess it has to be the AA. If they can manage to kill the AA or the Phoenix before they get spells off, maybe that's how you shape up one of these team fights here.
It's an opening for sure, and Bryle's been trying. We talked about the puck. That's a great backline snipe. But the moment he shows up, SquadX has been there to instantly silence the puck, so you don't really have any defensive item. They don't have a single defensive item to even dispel at this point any silence that is applied onto Bryle's puck. So no Lotus Swords, no other proper saving abilities. Maybe just the Dazzle has to instantly shallow grave. Okay, now you can go in so you don't die. But that's not the way you really want to play this one, and he's also forced out right away. So at this current pace, Virtus.pro is Virtus.proing TSM.
They are. Maybe they can hope for Notice to actually accidentally double-click his ultimate and kill himself here. So that will give him an avenue of maybe taking this fight here. Other than that,
maybe we see a point from TSM after all. Infest Bomb is applied for the puck, so let's see if he can get to the back line and do some damage. Melee's already down. sayuw is there. FNG's right there, but they read. The Hex is onto the puck already. It's surprise. It's lost. The silence is there, and the target is Ahri. Tusk is going to go down, and the puck's about to fall as well. SquadX with the roll and trying to get the connection there. Magnetized right on top of the puck, and he's still going. He's going to go all the way, and he's going to score a home run by the looks of it. Bryle still going to get away with the Magnetize, and finally, this Shaker. There's a shaker. Well, I mean, the Earth Spirit is definitely shaking the ground here, forcing Bryle away.
And that was like the scariest Uber ride of Timado's life there. Just the entire time just sitting in the puck. Like, I hope you got this, Bryle, because I don't want to come out of this infest whatsoever. This fight does not look good. And he continues to stay inside the puck here. They're looking for another play here. You see Kiritych in the top lane here. Are they going to chase him down? Can you even kill him if you make this play? We're about to find out.
Well, an attempt is being made.
We might, yeah. They found him. What can he do here?
At the blade mail, 1v2. They're making it work. Notice is killing Whitemon at the same time. Dude, Kiritych jumping back and forth. This version is hurting, and Timado is dying, and Timado is dead, and Bryle is dead. He just 1v2'd them, and Ahri does the cheap shot to secure the kill. But holy, this man, he just 1v2'd them as a Spectre. at 28 minutes.
Oh, man.
They were the ones to initiate on him, and GG's called out. I'm sorry to say, Fear, but it is East Europe 2, North America 0, 2 times in a row today.
What can you do? The better team has won today. It is what it is. I'm a big fan
It is what it is.
of competitive Dota, and this, I mean, it wasn't very competitive, honestly. This